The story for this week is one of my favorite. It's talking about Elijah on the mountain facing and challenging the false prophets of Baal and Asherah. So what you're going to do is you set up this picture, all right? So you set up the mountain. So they're going to go to the mountain here. And we'll set up on top of there, you have the false prophets of Baal and Asherah. And there's 850 of those. And one Elijah, or we sign Elijah. So Elijah challenges the false prophets. And so what he does is he tells them to build their altar first. And you set it up, and you take the animal and you kill it, you put it on top, and you're ready. And Elijah says, you and I, we will pray. And you go first. You pray and pray and pray. And whichever is the true God, he will send fire to come down and burn up everything. So the false prophets, they go first, and they set up, they build their altar, they put their sacrifice on top, just like you see in the picture there. And they pray and pray and pray and pray all day, and nothing happens. Well, in the evening, Elijah says, my turn. And he builds his altar, and he has the wood and the animal sacrifice he puts on, and then he tells them to go get water. And they dig a trench around it, they dig out around it, and they put the water, and they pour it over, and the water goes down. And he tells them a second time to go get water, and they pour it on there. And they get a third time with the water, and they pour it on there, and the water is in it, fills up the ditch. And then Elijah prays, and this is where you look up to heaven and say, God, show them you are the one true God. And sure enough, fire comes down from heaven, and it burns up the sacrifice. It burns up the wood. It burns up the rocks, and it burns up the water. Everything. And so you can see this is coming down. And so that's the idea. And the people, and they say, he is the one true God. And so that's how you set up the story. Set up the mountain, and Elijah challenges the false prophets there, and they build their altar, and then show what happens when the fire comes down from heaven. Awesome story. Read that, and wow, it's cool. It's gruesome, but it is a cool story. Have fun.